さらなる激化を前のしてお勝利するならいい。What's up YouTube, this is Undisputed22 back here again, this time with another video, and today we are going to do my deck profile of my promised Revenger Raging Form Dragon deck profile. I know I haven't been uploading videos lately because I was down with a fever last week. It was pretty bad, but now I'm finally okay, and I did promise you in my previous video that I was going to do a deck profile of my Revenger Raging Form Dragon deck profile. So now let's get on to the deck profile. So we're going to start off with our grid trees first. Our grid tree is pretty simple actually. So we run 4 Revenger Raging Form Dragon and 3 Illusionary Revenger Moderate to Phantom. So as you can see, we have one of each different rarity of Moderate Phantom over here. Then for the reason, and that's all the grid tree we run. We don't run any other grid trees at all, because the reason why I wanted to run that's like that is because this is a pure, I won't say pure, but majority Revenger deck, and Raging Form does need you to retire Revengers as well. So if you don't know what Raging Form does, it's basically when you place on Vanguard Circle, if you have 4 or more damage, you can counterblast 1, then Superior Core or grade 2 or lower Revenger directly from your deck, grade 2 or lower Revenger directly from the deck onto Vanguard Circle. Then the second skill is when he attacks, you can retire 3 Revenger rearguards. Then you can Superior Right a Revenger unit. Grade 3 Revenger. Doesn't have to be Raging Form. You can Superior Right Moderate Phantom as well on top of your Vanguard Circle instant. So yeah, that's the reason why I'm planning to play more Revengers and no Superior Right, Phantom Blaster Dragon shenanigans or whatever, because this deck is a majority Revenger deck and we just cannot, for me, I find that I just cannot afford to Superior Right, because if I Superior Right, the consistency of the deck will drop, and Raging Form might not be able to proc his Superior Riding skills. And for this deck, I'm going to show you combos later of how we're going to do 2 Vanguard swings and more, and one more rearguard attack, and with Moderate Phantom as well. So yeah, this is the grid trees. We just run 7 grid trees here. And the reason why we play 3 Moderate Phantom is because we got a lot of search power in this deck as well. So there's no really a real reason for you to play 4, for me I find. Then for our grid tools, we run quite an interesting amount. For me, we run 2 Revenger Doreen, 4 Tattoo, Black Dark Cloak Revenger Tattoo, 4 Masquerade, Transient Revenger Masquerade, because Masquerade is important. And last but not least, our last grade 2, we run 4 Blaster Darks, because it's Blaster Dark, why not? So there's not really much to explain here. It's just Blaster Dark is for Moderate Phantom, because Moderate Phantom requires you to play the original Blaster Dark, which is not a Revenger already. So it's pretty irritating to, because in some sense you might need to retire for a Raging Form, but then you realize, oh no, I have a Blaster Dark in hand, but I don't have, it's not a Revenger. So yeah, Blaster Dark is self-explanatory, and he gets Twin Drive on Vanguard Circle, so one way to play. Masquerade, not much to say, is a moderate searcher. That's why we run less moderates in this deck. Then for Tattoo, this brand new unit here, this card is really good. So if you don't know what Tattoo does, if you call her from your hand, you can Soul Blast 1 Superior Core, a grade 1 or lower Revenger from your deck, but retire it during the end phase. So yeah, that's really good, because it's not even a counter blast. And the reason why we run Doreen is because we do run the other grade 1 as well, which is Claudus, and one thing, he is a Revenger. So even if you don't have Claudus, he's still a 20k on body, and if you have a Force Marker, he's a 30k attacker, so that's actually pretty big. And for Revenger decks, you hardly counter blast anyway. Your counter blast mostly is safe for Raging Form, or maybe Claudus, or maybe even Moderate Phantom. So yeah, that's why we run this for my grade 2's ratio here. Then for our grade 1s, we do run 3 Claudus, 4 Rina, 3 Masquerade, and 2, interesting tech I run here, 2 manas. So If you don't know what the new grade 1 does, basically when this unit boosts attack, when this unit boosts attack hits, you can check the top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 Revenger from among them to your hand. So this is your Revenger Searcher. This is very, very important. Then his second skill is if he gets retired, you can Soul Blast, pay the cost of Soul Blast 1. Your opponent chooses a Rare and retires it. So yeah, it's a really good card over here, right? Already, it's a Searcher plus a Retire. Then for the reason why I run Mana is because first thing, she's a Revenger. So like I said, this is a majority Revenger deck, and on play she's a 13k. You can, if you pay the cost, she's a 13k, and your opponent chooses a Rare to retire. So if you have a Force Marker, she's a 23k on herself, which is actually not that bad of a number. 13k hits 13k hits 13 Force Vanguards, which is actually pretty good. So that's why I run her, and you don't really use the skill. The reason why I play her is because she's a Revenger. Which is, to me, is very important, because like I said, we need more Revengers, and the good news is we are getting more Revenger support in the future, which probably we're gonna remove her in the future. But for now, I'm playing her. And if you realize, I don't run Brandwen at all, because first thing, Brandwen is not a Revenger, and Brandwen for me sometimes I feel clogs the deck a bit, so that's why I don't run her. So for our triggers, very simple: 8 crit, 4 draw PGs obviously, and of course 4 new heal triggers, because this is technically the standard triggers right now. And if you don't know the new heal triggers, they have this interesting new heal trigger. What they do is if they appear on Vanguard Circle, and if you have not ridden a grade 3 at all, you can choose one of the skills. The first skill is your Vanguard gets 10k power until the end of the turn, and the second skill is the attacking unit gets crit -2, which is pretty good if you want to stop decks like Blackwing, Reggie, or any decks that gain critical as well. And the second skill is if you have no face up card in your damage zone and you call him to Vanguard Circle, you can put a top card of your deck into your damage zone face up. So it's a damage enable, but most of the time nobody's gonna do that. They're just gonna give you damage. There's no way your opponent's gonna counter blast deny you unless you're playing a really interesting deck. So yeah, and one thing I have emphasize is we have to run 4 of these critical triggers. Why? Because this is Grim Revenger. It is a Revenger, so just in case you don't have any regards to call, you can call him out just to retire for our Raging Form Dragon over here, because he is a Revenger. That's why we must run 4 of these. It's very important to run 4 of these. I'm hoping we will get further triggers, Revenger triggers in the future. You might never know, but please push it up. Please give us more Revenger triggers. And lastly, for starter, we run the cute little Fubao, because Fubao is best starter, and it doesn't really matter what starter you run anyway, because you're gonna right draw 1. So yeah, that's all for the deck profile. Now let's get on to the combo that we can do with Raging Form with our deck. Okay guys, so we are back. So this is just an example of one of the combos that we can do when your opponent pushes you to 4 and you go second. So let's say you ride Raging Form Dragon, you pay his skill, Counter Blast 1, Superior Call, Grade 2 or lower Revenger from the deck. You can Superior Call anything. For me, in my case, I would like to Superior Call Rina, because Rina is the booster that gets you to Superior Call to search your deck, the top 3 cards of your deck for Revenger. Then we will call Tatu out to Vanguard Circle. Tatu skill, we're gonna pay the Soul Blast 1 to Superior Call another Rina. And one thing we're gonna mention is that our Force Markers, we always put, I for one would like to prefer to put the Force Markers on the side first, because your Vanguard will, most of the time your opponent will be taking your Vanguard Circle, so I would like to put the Force Marker on the side, on my side Vanguard first. Then let's just call a full field over. So let's just call maybe another maybe a Doreen, or maybe even a Claudius. Example. So as you can see here, if we have the cost to pay for Doreen and Claudius, Doreen himself will be a 20k with a Claudius boost will be 28k just by column itself. Then this side will already be 28k, so that's 20k guards for our sides already. So obviously we're going to swing with our Tatu first, which is a 20k guard, and then most of the time your opponent is going to guard this because they won't really want you to check the top 3 cards of your deck. Then we're going to swing with Rina and Raging Form, which gets us Twin Drive. Let's say we get a Twin Drive, we get a Raging Form and a mana. Then now we can retire 3 Rear Guards to pay for our Raging Form Dragon, Superior Right. Then since we Superior Right, we can put the Force Marker onto the center now. That's when I prefer to put my Force Marker on the center now, because we are going to just reroad. Then Raging Form skill will pay the cost of Counterblast 1 to Superior Core or Grid or lower. In our case, we are going to Superior Core Masquerade, because Masquerade himself is a 13k attacker, and you won't really search anything anyway, because you just want him for the special another attack. Or if you want to retire an additional opponent's record, you can Superior Core Mana skill will prop, paying the cost, and so plus 1. Opponent chooses a record and retire, and she gets 5k power. So she herself is a 23k attacker, and your opponent just lost a record. So let's continue to swing with Mana. Then with Claudius and Doreen, then Raging Form Dragon will swing for 23k now because of the Force Marker. Then let's say we get a Twin Drive, we get a Moderate Phantom, then we get a critical trigger, but it doesn't matter anyway because your trigger will most probably miss because you're going to Superior Right anyway. So then we can just write a... Then now since you got 3 Revenger Regas, you can just retire them. Then either Superior Right Raging Form Dragon or Moderate Phantom you have in your hand. It's best if you Superior Right a Raging if you're still at 4 damage, because if you Superior Raging, you can pay the another counterblast to Superior Core a Rear Guard from your deck. So if let's say we Superior Raging, we just call a Masquerade, then we just give him another Force Marker as we have over here. So Masquerade himself will be a 33k attacker, and Raging Form has not swing as well. So but this time we can go for a Vanguard swing first, because Raging Form will get your Twin Drive, which you can all pump your Masquerade, and then your Masquerade will swing for maybe a 43k or maybe a 53k depending on what trigger you get. So yeah, that's the combo for the triple Vanguard swing. Yeah, it's actually very powerful, because you are going with a total of 7 attacks, which is really painful, and the more attacks you do, the more powerful they get for this deck. So that's why Raging Form is actually very strong. So but that requires you to have a full Revenger field, and requires you to have 4 damage, which most of the time is happening to you. But the problem is the 4 damage, because you might not want to drive check a heal trigger during your drive check. If you do, then your Raging Form will just miss. You can still use the Superior Right skill, but you cannot Superior Core unit. That's the problem here. So that's one of the combos. Then let's get on to the other combo. The other combo is, if let's say you have Moderate Phantom in hand, then you want to do your Blaster Duck shenanigans with Moderate Phantom. So let's just assemble the units over here. Let's say you have two Blaster Ducks on Rega Circle, then you have a Force Marker in the center. Sorry, you have a Force Marker on here. So the Force Marker I'll definitely give my Blaster Duck, because I want my Blaster Duck to hit bigger powers later. Then let's say for our Rear Guards, we put Great Ones, and here's the most important thing. If you're gonna do this combo, you need 3 Revenger Rear Guards, which is your back rows, because you have to retire. Like I said, you have to retire Revengers. So what we're gonna do in this combo is basically mana with a boost of Blaster Duck. If you use mana skill, she'll gain 5k. So this column will be a 23k column, which is a 15k guard already, which is pretty good. Then Rina will boost with a Blaster Duck to attack. There will be a 28k, which is a 20k guard over here. Then Raging Form will swing with Rina or whatever he's boosting, which is a 21k, which most of the time your opponent is going to give it to you or just guard it, because this column is a smaller column. Sorry, yeah, actually it is a smaller column, unless if you call another great one here which is not mana, then it will be a 10k guard over here. So then we're going to Twin Drive. Then we have a Moderate Phantom in hand. We're going to Superior the Moderate Phantom by retiring 3 Revenger Rear Guards. So you just retire 3 Revenger Rear Guards. Moderate Phantom was right in stand, then you can choose to give the force marker either to your Vanguard or to your Rearguard Blaster Dart if you want to. For me, I'm just gonna give my Vanguard because Moderate Phantom, my Vanguard is lacking power while my Rearguard is already having power. So Moderate Phantom will swing using skill, paying the counter blast of withstanding 2 Blaster Darts. So Blaster Dart A will gain 10k and Blaster Dart B will gain another 10k. So both Blaster Darts, so this Blaster Dart will be hitting for 20, this Blaster Dart will be hitting for 30, and Moderate Phantom will be hitting for 23k, which is actually a pretty big number. So yeah, this is the combo. Over here, then you get a twin drive, we get any trigger power we just pump to our Blaster Darts, and Blaster Dart will swing for the attacks. So yeah, there's another combo to do. So total, we did not do much attack as compared to the previous combo, but it is still a very good combo to do, just in case you do not have enough Revenger Reagans but you have Blaster Darts. And most of the time you will have Blaster Dart because of Masquerade, or yeah, because Masquerade, the search power in this deck is just really insane. So yeah, that's the two combos you might want to do with this deck. Another combo you can do with this deck is, let's say you have 1 Blaster Dart but you have 5 Revenger Rearguards. So you just swing, Raging Form will swing, twin drive, retiring 3, superioring moderate skill, actually yeah, the Blaster Dart, then moderate will give you a force marker, Blaster Dart will swing, moderate will swing, so you stand the Blaster Dart, and you have another Revenger Rearguard to boost the Blaster Dart too, so the Blaster Dart column will be even bigger. So that's another combo you can think of. You can think of a lot of combos actually, but yeah, for me this is my deck combo that I love to do with this deck. So yeah, that's all. So yeah, that is my deck profile, guys. Hope you guys enjoy my deck profile of my Revenger Raging Foam Dragon deck. It's really one of my favorite unit decks to play right now because I love Revengers. I have been a supporter of Revengers ever since I played this game, and I was around during the Break Right era, and Raging Form was my partner in crime of helping me win climb or win tournaments back in the day. So it's really good to see my old buddy back in the V series right now. In fact, players have been praying for Raging Form to come back in the V series, and finally it did. And surprisingly enough, for the next V Clan collection, they are giving us more Revengers, and the best part is Raging Form now has a reverse form, which is quite questionable if you think about it. Because think about it for a second. Yes, it's exciting to see Raging Form getting reversed, but the question is, it doesn't work as well, because think about it for a second. Raging Form requires you to retire 3 Revenger Rearguards. So let's give a example right here. So okay, let's say we have a full field of Revenger Rearguards. Okay, then one of the column will swing, Raging Form will swing. Then let's treat Moderate Phantom as Raging Form reverse. So you retire 3 Rearguards, you superiorite Raging reverse in stand, which will give you 2 force markers. The question is, remember one thing, reverse units need to lock Rearguards, and giving Shadow Paladin a reverse unit doesn't work, because first thing, you need to lock your own Rearguards, and another thing is you have to retire Rearguards as well, because there is Raging. One thing is it's Shadow Paladin, and one thing is Raging Form. Raging Form requires you to retire Rearguards. So if you superiorite Raging 4 Dragon, if you superiorite Raging 4 Dragon, you are left with only 2 Rearguards. So that means Raging 4 Dragon has to have an effect that if you ride him, you can superior call Rearguards as well, just like the origin V series Raging Form. If not, you're just left with 2 Rearguards, and your Raging 4 Dragon might not even do anything. Or maybe he has a skill that if you lock one of your Rearguard, you retire one Rearguard, he gains a 10k power and a crit maybe, I'm not sure. So giving giving Shadow Paladin a reverse unit sometimes doesn't work, but it's Bushiroad. They might think of something that might make the deck Raging Fall Dragon playable in a with Raging form. I mean, it is Raging Form's reverse unit after reverse form after all, so they definitely will have to figure something out to make the card playable with this card. So yeah, I'm hoping for the best. Bushiroad, please do give us a very good effect for Raging Fall Dragon, and please do give us more Revenger units, and we need more Revenger triggers too, so that we can make a full V premium Revenger deck, or maybe even in premium we can make a. I mean, premium Revenger decks is definitely playable because we have a lot of Revengers in the V premium. But if by giving us more Revengers, we might make the deck even more powerful because we don't need to use the old units. So yeah, that's all for today. That's all for today of my Revenger Raging Form Dragon V premium deck profile. I hope you guys enjoy my video. If you like my deck list, please do give a like and subscribe to my channel for more. The next video will be my Tetra Drive Dragon Blue Wave Tetra Drive Dragon deck list, which I've already made the deck for a while now. I've been playing it. It's really fun. It's really fun to play. Competitive wise, maybe not for this deck. Competitive wise, yes, you will definitely see in the competitive gameplay, because this deck is just good. It's really good against decks like Chaos Breaker. Yes, this deck has not really much problems playing against Chaos Breaker, even though it's a Force Clan. You just need to know how to play against the lock mechanism. So yeah, competitive wise, yes, you will definitely see Raging Form Dragon in the competitive meta because it's such really strong deck. Yeah, so that's all for today, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and please do remember to subscribe to my channel. I'm just 40 subscribers away to 100 subs. If you do want giveaways, please do subscribe to my channel. Just another 40 subs, then I will do my first giveaway. So yeah, all right, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Undisputed 22 signing off.